Hey folks, welcome to today's episode of the H Squared Experience. And today I want to show you how to go from this to this. So before we get too far into it, I want to show you how quick and easy it is to throw my deck system in to my F-150. Let's take a look really quick here. Now, as you all can see, this went in nice and easy, takes up very minimal time, and I'll show you a picture here as well, just kind of how it is stacked in my garage, and it takes up very little space if I don't have it in my truck. So when I started this project, I wasn't really sure how it was going to turn out. I took this from an idea that I saw online of the Bambeds. Appears to be an amazing product, but just was not in my budget at the time when I did these. I've had these in the truck now for about 3 months or so. Used it out on a few different adventures. But I wanted to try to make a system at home myself. So there's a couple things I probably would have done a little bit differently. But I'm going to point out a couple things here, and then I'll show you the video. You can take a look. Hopefully you get something from it. I'm not going to show all the measurements really in this because it was specific for my truck. If you're building it for your truck, your measurements are going to be different. And for any years and stuff, these things may be different. So hopefully you can take the concepts that I have in this and try to use them to do your own project at home. If you have any specific questions, you can go ahead and put those in the comments below. I could try to give you what I have, but otherwise, hopefully you find this a little bit helpful. All right, first off in the video, you'll see one thing that I changed is I did go with 1x10s. I started out with 2x10s, and I didn't really like the design. Nothing would go over, but a couple people made some comments that they weren't sure how it connected. So I decided to do my version of having them connect. So what I did is I took 1x10s and I made little 1x sections cutouts. And as you can see here, I added them on top of the 1x with some long screws. Again, I'm not a really good carpenter, so you can see in the video, hopefully it'll make sense of what I did there. This is the section cutoffs for the extension piece. And as you can see here, this center piece will slide out. It is just an extra support. But as you saw me put it in, I did screw the same thing onto these 1xs. Hopefully this will make sense when you watch it in the video. The other thing is I did not use super high quality plywood. I had it painted. It has worked well, but when I made my initial cuts, 2 of the pieces did cup just a little bit more. So if you wanted to spend an extra 50 bucks, this cost me probably around 150 to do. So maybe an extra 50 bucks for the next grade up of plywood to the birch probably would be the best. The drawers and slides are nice and simple and easy. They pull out in and out really easily. And in the video, you may see these pieces of scrap. Those are not needed. Those are just pieces of scrap that I had left on the project. And they can help if you want to put something on those and slide as well. Otherwise, we'll get into the video, let you check it out. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all next time. We're going to see how this works out. My daughter and I have already ran to Lowe's to grab a couple of the materials we needed. It's only a couple things, at least for now. We'll see if I have what I need or if we need to go get more stuff later on. Don't even know if I'll get this all done in one take or one day. So I'm going to start on today. I'll show you guys what I have right now though. So I got a couple 3/4 inch pieces of plywood. I don't need anything fancy. So I did not get anything super nice. A couple of the companies out there have really nice builds they're doing. And I got a couple just 2x10x8s. And I'm going to be chopping this stuff up to fit in the back of my pick 'em up truck. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and see how this thing works out. All right, folks, so what I have done, I had some scrap lumber here. And just to get to know and have an idea of how things fit in here, I went ahead and cut them to length just to see how they would fit. So I took some old scrap 2x6s, cut them. I see the distance that I want on to come to the bed of the truck. And I have the minimum distance that I'll need, or the maximum that I can go for the center. There's a couple different cutouts and distances, but this is the one I'm going to cut them to be uniform. There'll be this distance across here, and then once again I'll have the 2x10s will be cut to this length. And my ideal is to have 3 separate platforms that are around 22 inches or so. I can get you those measurements later, in depth, so I can stack them in the back. And also they'll come in and out easy as I need to, and hopefully ideally I'll be able to put me an extension to come out on the bed of the truck a little bit as well. So I hope to work on that a little bit too. So for now though, I'm going to go ahead and get my lumber and start cutting and see how this turns out. So I've already measured the truck. Measure here again. Did one small spot. Don't judge my carpentry work. As y'all can see here, hopefully, these will be my 2 base points. And then we'll have the next pieces that I cut. That'll be this exact length here. 3 pieces that'll be able to stack in the bed of the truck if I need to. I may ultimately even section these out depending on how I'm figure out how to attach them all together. So next up is cut the plywood. So I have this marked up, hopefully squared up, and ready to cut my length here for the correct, and then I'll start making cuts side to side of this board. One down, one more to go. That's that on those. That's going to be time to mark my cuts that way, cut this direction to get them where they need to be there. We are marked and ready for a length cut. All right, perfect example. Measure twice, cut once. Almost messed up. Remeasured, getting ready to cut now. One down, 3 more. And a splinter. All right, last cut was done. Let's see how they fit in the truck now. All right, so these are rough cuts, so they'll probably have to be a little finagling. I am going to eventually have to cut out some joints to fit here, so I'll put these in today and I'll figure out where to, I have to make these cuts so this last slat will fit in the truck. But for now, let's just see if we can go ahead and get them in here at all. There's a platform. They'll all slide and stack on each other. As you can see though, I do have to make some cuts on this so it'll slide out to the edge of the board. All right folks, so I went ahead and made my marks, and I'm going to do every corner the same actually on each board, so that way no matter where or when and what order I put these in, they all should fit in there. So I'm going to make these marks here and make these cuts with my jigsaw. All right, time to go throw it in. So you can see here, we have a nice platform. So there is a little bit of room. So now all I want to do is go ahead and pull all these boards out, make these same cuts, and I'm going to eventually go ahead and clean these up and probably router these edges a little bit. So after I got the first board cut, I'm just going to lay it on top of the other ones. Just use it as a template to go ahead and cut out the edges and the corners. Okay, so now I have these scrap 2x10s that were left over. I'm going to work on making my extension pieces. So you can see, hopefully I have them marked here. So what I'll do is I'll actually use these as extension pieces for the tailgate. Do here today, I want to go ahead and clean up the edges a little bit. I'm going to route the edges, and I'm going to go ahead and round these edges off or angle them a little bit here. I came 4 inches over, 3/4 of an inch down. I'm going to cut these with the jigsaw, and then I'll go around the whole thing and router it all out. But this just gives me a little more wiggle room when I'm putting it in on angles to get it into the bed of the truck, hopefully a little bit easier. So go ahead and make these cuts, and then we'll get everything routed as well. Now those are all cut. What I'm going to do is I'll get the other boards, lay these on top, get a template, mark it, and do the same thing on them. But I have all of my edges done to where I want them on each of the board. Now I'm going to start routing them out to smooth out the sides a bit. All right, one board down, time for the next one. And I am doing both sides just to get the nice smooth edge, both sides of this thing. All right, folks, it is getting dark here, but we are all done. We'll do a test fit. Already much better. And I don't even have to tilt it. It's doing much smoother than before. Here you see them without the extension. With the extension, I'll pull these out. Simply pull my extension molds out. So let me get the last extension piece and put it on. All right. So there you go. As you can see, the full bed is made. So a little sanding, and we'll move on to the next step. Again, all this additional stuff I'm doing is optional. I just want to clean it up a little bit and see how good I can make it look. All right, folks. So now, if you can see this, I have marked out where I'm going to take my hole saw to make my cuts to start putting in my handholds. So I will cut those out, and then I will jigsaw out from the holes and then router out those as well to have some nice handholds there on the sides. So let's see how this goes. And once I'm done, I'll actually use this as a template, strap it on the other ones and do the other ones. pilots are done, I'm going to go ahead and strap them all together and do the cuts for the rest of them. All done. Time to take them apart, mark them, jigsaw them out, router. All right, holes, handholds, and all are done. Now it's time to router them out and clean them up. All holes, handholds are nice and routed now. Got all of them ready. So now we'll do yet another test fit so I can mark the next thing I need to do on these is to make my puzzle piece end for the extension to fit. Boom, nice and easy. All right, so for my extension, what I did is I had made me a template to mark to where to cut it and lock it in. So I'm going to cut that out, and then I'll work on making the cutout on the extension piece. So now I've clamped it, marked this as a template, and time to pull it apart and cut it next. So I ran out of light and I gotta trim my end boards, but it is not perfect. I am not the best, but I do have a puzzle piece joint in, far from perfect. Handholds, and I will put me some handholds in this board too. Just so it's uniform, but getting closer, much closer. All right, folks, so I made a post and some folks were wondering how the bottom was attached. It was on 2x10s, but I think I'm going to go ahead and work in and try to do 1x's. So what I'm doing is I made myself a jig here, found the center points and marked it, and did that. Now I'm going to take this one, place it on top of all my other ones, and make the cuts in those as well. So fingers crossed, we'll see how this goes, and then I'll cut out the bottoms and put these on place. All right, all the cuts and all the platforms have been made. So once again, just on these, I'll go ahead and route these out, get them nice and smooth, and then get ready to put them back in. Okay, so since I only had 1x10 material and it won't reach all the way up if I routed them out for these to fit in here, what I'm doing is I'm cheating, and I made these cutouts, and I will mount them onto the 1x10 material. All right, so now once they are on these, you can see they drop right in place. Put a sand and smooth them out, it will look good. That's just the center support, which I'll be putting my couple sliders in here. I don't know that I need this, but I've got it in there. And as you can see, what I've done for the slides is essentially just got another sheet, cut them out to fit, and I'll be doing the same thing, just cutting out the handles. I use the old boards for the template. I'll cut these out, router those out, get everything nice and smooth, and then we'll show you how those slide in just a minute. And this is not exact science for this one, just want to get it relatively close. So I will mark it. Off we go. Voila. Now time to route it. And this was just for measurement purposes only, but as you can see, slide right in and out. And so here you can see it kind of set up without the tops on. I did put just some sections on it to help anything from sliding around, or so it doesn't stay in the back, but it'll stay with it. See? Now off to paint the tops to protect them, and this project is complete. All right, folks, here is the end look at what we have here. Here are the panels. I have them all painted now. I added the slide doors in. Here you can kind of see I just have a canopy for my kids' adventures, covered in sawdust here. But as you can see, it slides out, works nice. And on this side right now, I just have my ladder. And then this is just the extension for when the bed comes out. And over here for now, I have the extension pieces that will work with this once it's all put out. So overall, not too bad. Pretty happy with how it went, how it turned out. And this works pretty cool, pretty easy. Pretty stoked about this. So thanks for checking out the video, y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little bit of something. Hope you'll take this project on at home yourself. If you have any questions, once again, check it out below. Otherwise, thanks again. We'll catch y'all later. See ya.